Are you a covered call trader and you're trying to figure out what in the money and out of the money exactly means and how it relates to covered call? Don't worry, I totally understand. Option trading and covered call jargon and concepts can be totally confusing. In this video, I'm explaining to you what in the money and out of the money means and how you can use it in covered calls to make it rain. Dude, I said make it rain, not hail. I'd appreciate an early thumbs up as it really helps with YouTube algorithm. These videos took a really long time. These videos took no time to make. It definitely didn't take me 8 hours to make this video. That's for sure. That being said, I respect your time and I'm gonna fit as much valuable information in as little time as possible. Here's the format of the video. Part 1, what are covered calls? Part 2, what are in the money and out of the money strike prices? Part 3, what is time premium? And part 4, how can we use in the money and out of the money strike prices in covered call trades? I'm excited to share this information, so let's get right into it. Part 1. Covered call writing is a strategy where we buy stock and then sell the right to purchase those shares at a price called the strike price. So let's just say this is our date where we sold the covered call. Our shares are worth $100 and the price that we are willing to sell it is called the strike price. This line right here, this is the strike. And the date that this trade ends is called the expiration date. So we bought the shares of stock here. We agreed to sell the shares of stock as long as it reaches our strike price and by the expiration date. Another way to think of covered calls is that there are two sides to a covered call trade. There is a seller side, which as a covered call writer, this is us, and there's a buyer side. And as a seller, we are selling the call option to the buyer. And in return, the buyer pays us a premium for the right to buy stocks at the strike price and by the expiration date. And that's basically covered calls in a nutshell. And it's important to understand this before we talk about in the money and out of the money strike prices. Part 2. What does in the money and out of the money mean? In the money simply means the call option strike price is lower than the market value of the stock. For example, let's just say that we bought the stock at $100. Our strike price is at $98. This is the date that we sold the call option. We bought the stock at $100. We agreed to sell the stock by the expiration date. Let's just say over this course of 1 month that the share price goes up and down. And by the expiration date, the stock price of $100 is greater than our strike price. This is known as in the money. And since our shares of stock are in the money, our shares of stock will be sold for $98, right? Because we sold the call option to the call option buyer to sell our shares of stock at $98. Out of the money is when the strike price is greater than the stock price. So for example, let's just say that we bought the shares at $100. The strike price that we set $102. This is our strike. The date that we entered this trade is here. We bought at $100 and this is our expiration date. During this time, let's just say of a month again, that the share price went up and down, up and down. By this expiration date, let's just say our shares are worth now $101. The strike price of $102 is greater than our stock price, which is $101. This is known as out of the money. We did not reach the agreed upon price that we said we were going to sell our shares at. So we get to keep the 100 shares. Part 3. An option premium consists of intrinsic and time value. Intrinsic value is how much the strike price is in the money. In the previous example, we bought a stock at $100. We select a $98 strike price. There is a $2 loss if our shares are sold at $98. We bought the stock at $100 and agreed to sell stock at $98. However, we are also given the other half of an option premium, and that is called time value. Time value is the total premium minus the intrinsic value, if any. So for example, we buy the shares for $100, sell the $98 call for a premium of $3. Of that $3, $2 is intrinsic. The remaining $1 is time value. And just note that only in the money strikes have intrinsic value. Let's use an out of the money example. Time value is the premium paid to you for selling the call. In the previous example, if we buy a stock for $100, select a $102 strike price, there is a $2 time value premium, and there is no intrinsic value. We bought the stock for $100 and hope to sell at $102. As you can see, we did not reach our strike price. We are out of the money. We just netted a premium of $2, and we could go on and sell another covered call. If you found any value from this video at all, and I hope you did, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification button. Part 4. There are advantages and disadvantages to using in the money and out of the money strike prices. The general concept is that when we're bullish about the stock or the stock market, it's best to use out of the money strike prices because that's how we get the max profit potential. When we're bearish about a stock and the stock market itself, it makes a lot of sense to select an in the money strike price just to provide some downside protection and mitigate risk. An example, say that we're bearish about a stock. We're going to select an in the money strike price. However, that stock does really well. We just limited our upside potential because we selected an in the money strike price. However, we did get downside protection just in case if that stock price didn't go our way. So using in the money example, we bought a stock at 100 and sold the $98 call. We're paid a premium of $3. Of that premium, $2 is intrinsic and $1 is in time value. We now have 2% downside protection, and the math for that is 2 divided by 100. Right? And that's 2%. And a 1% return, 1 divided by 100, because we bought the shares of stock at 100, and that's for a 1% return. Now, the stock price can decrease from $100 to $98, and we would be even on this trade because we received $3 when we sold the call. Using an out of the money example, we bought the stock at 100 and sold a call at the $102 strike price. We're paid a premium of $2. Now, there is no intrinsic value. There is $2 in time value. In addition, we get another $2 from selling our shares at $102 if our option expires in the money. So just note that for out of the money, there is no downside protection. This example, we receive a 2% return for the option, and we receive an additional 2% from our share price increasing from $100 to $102. Understanding in the money and out of the money strike prices are important covered calls because it allows you to reduce risk and also really make it rain. Thank you. Dude, let me know your thoughts about in the money and out of the money strike prices. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I respond to every single comment. I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video and have a great day. And really make it rain. Thank you.
Okay. Oh,
is my tooth okay?
It's fine. It's all good.